Presumptive Republican nominee Donald Trump set to meet tomorrow with House Speaker Paul Ryan. They're going to be in there for about 3 hours, according to the schedule that we have today. Speaker Ryan spoke to folks at the podium. He said that the party simply can't pretend that it is unified when it isn't, and that there needs to be an effort to make that happen.
I want to be a part of that unifying process so that we're at full strength this fall so that we can win this election. We cannot afford to lose this election to Hillary Clinton, to pack the Supreme Court, to keep the liberal Obama agenda going. We have to be at full strength so that we can win this election.
I'm joined by Ari Fleischer, former press secretary for President George W. Bush. Ari, good to see you. Welcome.
Thank you, Martha.
This afternoon. So what do you make of this Ryan meeting tomorrow?
Well, I think for insiders it's important, and I think for the future of how two powerful, important people get along, it's important. I think what Paul Ryan wants to hear is that a President Trump would respect the institution of the House. He won't go around the House. He recognizes the way to get things done and permanent is through law, and that he needs a speaker to get that done. And I think what Donald Trump wants to hear is Paul Ryan say, I support you. I hope they can unify. It's going to be a lot easier to win if you have a unified party. But bear in mind, Martha, Donald Trump is winning and did well in the primaries, won the primaries, because he's an outsider, not an insider. This meeting is important to people who follow it day to day. It's not as important to the overall average person who voted for Donald Trump.
You know, I mean, it's interesting. You know, your former boss did not back him and made a point of saying that we will not endorse. And that is going to be something that's brought up a lot during the course of this campaign. So, you know, what do you think about that fact? And, you know, there are those who, like Mike Huckabee, who I spoke to just moments ago, he said, you know what, Paul Ryan doesn't need to do this out in public. He needs to do this behind closed doors. This is not good for the party.
Well, there is no behind closed doors when you have a meeting with Donald Trump or Paul Ryan, the speaker. So I don't know how that works. As for President Bush, look, obviously, the statements that Donald Trump made about George Bush lying about Iraq are erroneous. They're false. Donald Trump never should have said it. And that's a way of Donald Trump pushing away people that he should be able to get. So I don't blame George W. Bush for that. You know, there's a lot about Donald Trump I don't like, but I will support Donald Trump and vote for him because his opponent is Hillary Clinton. I will support Donald Trump any day of the week against Hillary Clinton. But George Bush didn't really campaign and go active and wasn't at the convention for Mitt Romney either. I think he's enjoying retirement and living in Dallas and doing the things former presidents do, including painting.
Including painting, which we love to see. So in terms of the Rudy Giuliani possibility and a function that he might have, here is Donald Trump on Fox and Friends talking about a position potentially for Rudy Giuliani. Watch this.
It's a real problem, not only here, but throughout the world. It's a real problem. So we'll figure it out, and we will get it going. But we have to be extremely careful. In fact, I'm thinking about setting up a commission, perhaps headed by Rudy Giuliani, to take a very serious look at this problem. But this is a worldwide problem, and we have to be smart.
Good idea, Ari?
Well, I do think it's an interesting sign of Donald Trump's potential evolution, that he's going to stop just answering everything for himself and start to bring on people who have some experience and expertise and do things in a more methodical way. That's the sign of a more maturing candidate. Look, I oppose his Muslim ban. I think that's not how you handle these type of situations where we can target the bad people, and that's what we should do without tarnishing an entire faith. But I like the idea of Donald Trump starting to bring on people like Rudy to lend an expert idea to what he's doing.
And if he does that, he can say, here's what we've worked out, here's how we're going to handle this issue, and it will be a modifying factor. You know, once the explanation comes out about what the program actually looks like, and it becomes more clear that, as he said in the beginning, it's a temporary idea until we fix what's wrong with the system, which is what he originally said, he may get some points for that.
You know, Martha, I think that's exactly right, but it's also bigger than that. The office of the presidency is mammoth. So is the run or campaign for the presidency. And the good candidates and the good presidents figure out who they can lean on, who the smart people are that they need to incorporate and rely on and use them to figure solutions out. No president can be successful on gut and whim alone. They've got to develop a strong team around them, and I'm glad to see Donald Trump's moving in that direction, at least in this instance.
All right, Fleischer, always good to see you, sir. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
You bet.